Alright, everyone, welcome to today's lesson. Today we shall be learning about bearings. What is bearing? Bearing is an angle that shows the direction of an object from a reference point. An angle, so bearing is all about angle. With the help of an angle, you can actually show or tell the direction of an object. An object can be on an angle of 90 degrees. That means the angle is due east. So here is 90 degrees. An object might be on a bearing of 180 degrees, which is due south here, 180 degrees, or 270, which is here at the west. Okay, an object can also be at 360, which is here, 360 degrees. This 360 degrees is the same thing as 0 degrees. 360 and 0 degrees are the same thing. And bearings move in a clockwise direction. That's 3-digit bearings move in a clockwise direction. All right, so these are 4 strategic points on the cardinal points. But I want to remind us there are also other points we can actually tell without using protractor, which is in between the north and the east. We have this angle, and this angle is 45 degrees. You agree with me? Half of 90 is 45 degrees. Now, in between the 90 and 180, we have 135 degrees. 135 degrees. All right. So, and in between 180 and 270, we have 225 degrees. 225 degrees. 225 degrees. And in between 270 and 360, we have 315 degrees. All right. So it's good to know all these angles, because these are angles we are going to use to guide ourselves as we sketch bearings. It's important you know that, so that you don't sketch without reason. You know, when you sketch, since you're not going to be using protractor to sketch every time you sketch a given bearing, it's good to have these strategic points in your mind so that it will help you to sketch intelligently. All right, now let's go over to sketching the direction of an object with a given bearing. Let's say we are to sketch, if an object is on the bearing of 50 degrees, what would be the object's direction? 50 degree will be written as 0, 50 degrees. Okay, let's sketch this. All right, this is the cardinal point, and this is the north, of course. Here is 0 degrees. We know that here is the east, and here is 90 degrees. And of course, here is the north. Now, to sketch 50, you need to remember that this place is 45 degrees. 40 from here to here is 45 degrees. So 50 will be a little below. So this is the direction of 50 degrees. So this angle is 50 degrees. This angle is 50 degrees. All right. So now let's sketch another one. Let's say we're to sketch 120 degrees. 120 degrees. 120 degrees. If you draw your cardinal point very well, of course, this is your cardinal point, this is your north, and this is your south. These 2 points are enough. Now, we know that this place in between the north and the east is 135 degrees. So 120 is going to be a little bit above. It's not going to go below, a little bit above. So the whole of this is our 120 degrees. This is 120 degrees. All right. Okay. So let's also sketch 240 degrees. Let's look at 240 degrees. If you draw your cardinal point, 240 will surely be in the third quadrant. All right. In between the south and the west. So we know that this place is 45 degrees, which is, of course, when added to 180 will give you 225 degrees. But we are talking about 240. That means it's going to be above this line. So we are taking our hand upward. All right, so that's the angle. So the whole of this rotated to this point will give you 240 degrees. And if you split these angles, you will have 90 here plus 90, which is 180. 180 plus 60 will give you, that means this angle here is 60 degrees. All right, so we are learning how to split bearings now. Okay, now let's say we are to locate 340 degrees on the cardinal point. How do you do that? Remember those strategic angles we have located before? Now, this is in between this is the west, of course, and this is the north. In between the west and the north, we have our 315, that's 315 degrees. Okay, so we need to go up a little to get 340. So we are going upward this direction. So that's the direction of 340, and you rotate from the north in a clockwise direction. This is the angle for 340 degrees. If you're to split the angles, you have here to be 90, here to be 90, here to be 90, which is 270 already, and that means here must be 70 degrees. All right, so this basic concept is needed for all beginners to gain mastery of before you move forward. If not, it will give you problems. All right, let's say we are to sketch let's say 150 degrees. 150 degrees. 150 degrees will be in the second quadrant. So, and is in between the east, the south, and the east. Between the south and the east, of course. So we know that this place strategically is 135. So 150 will be a little bit down. So this is the direction of 150 degrees. The whole of this angle is 150 degrees. If you are to split, you will have here to be 90 degrees. You have here to be 60 degrees. Of course, here must be 30 degrees. So that's the idea about splitting. Let me do more. Let's say we are to locate direction of let's say 40 degrees. I thought we've done that before. 40 degrees, for instance. Okay, 40 degrees, that would be in the first quadrant. Now we know that this is our 45 degrees in between the north and the east. 45 degrees, so our 40 degrees will be a little bit above, above our 45 degrees. So this place is 40 degrees. 40 degrees. So that's the idea about bearing and locating points, if you understand what I mean. Okay, so that's it. So the summary of the lesson is that, first of all, we know that we have 4 cardinal points made up of and here is 0 degrees, here is 90 degrees, here is 180 degrees, and here is 270 degrees. Okay, and here this 0 is as well 360 degrees. Okay, 360 degrees. Then in between 0 and 90 we have 45 degrees, see, and in between 90 and 180 we have 135 degrees. Because we are not going to be using protractor to sketch this thing every time we are given a problem, so it's good to have this at the back of our mind. Here is 225 degrees. Then in between here you have 315 degrees. So if you're looking for 50 degrees, your hand has to be below. If you're looking for 30 degrees, your hand has to be above. If you're looking for 120, your hand has to be up here. 160, your hand has to be below. All right, so that's the idea. So there are how many major angles we need to master on the table, on the cardinal points? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, so in our next lesson we shall look at how to find the bearing between 2 points. Find the bearing between 2 points using this concept. All right, so see you in the next lesson. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you. This is Stan Barry. Bye for now.